Hello everyone, my name is Aika, and if you're new here, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. Today I'm gonna be doing a tag video. I was tagged by Louboutin. Hi Lei, thank you so much for tagging me. She actually started this tag video. I think it's such a fun video to make. I'm very excited. Basically, the purpose of this video is talk about 5 things that you would buy if you were just starting your collection again. Yeah, I feel like back in the day when I was just starting my luxury collection, it was way easier to do that. Luxury brands and houses, they weren't experimenting as much with different styles, and they didn't completely change the collections throughout seasons. So we had a collection and then it lasted for a pretty long time. Also, I think with the expansion of social media, it became more complicated and you can get really confused on whether you should buy this first or that first. So again, I was pretty lucky and I didn't make any sort of big mistakes. So I think if I were to start over, I would buy all of these things again. So let me just take you through them. The very first luxury item that I ever bought in my entire life was in 2008, and I bought the famous Louis Vuitton Speedy. I think it was size 30. It wasn't too big, wasn't too small, so I think the size was 30, and it was the perfect bag for me. I got it in the darker damier shade. I'm really sorry, but I'm not the best at all the names, and after that bag I actually didn't have any other bags in the same color or pattern, but I'll put a picture right here so you can check it out. What I loved about this bag is that the handles were in a dark brown leather and it was impossible to ruin them. I wore this bag non-stop every day for about 3 years. I think it was my go-to bag. It was my holy grail bag. I loved it so much. I got it in Paris for 495 euros. Isn't that crazy? Prices back then were also much cheaper than they are right now. So I was very happy with the purchase. I still have the bag, but not in Switzerland, but I keep it in my parents' house because I never reach for it. But since it was my very first luxury purchase, I'm never gonna sell it, and it's in pristine condition. I think I have like a couple of scratches over 10-11 year period of time, but it is still in a fantastic condition. I think the quality back then was much better than it is now. So that was my very first purchase. I was really happy with the bag, and I think if I were to start over, I'd go to the same bag again. Number 2 was another Louis Vuitton purchase, and I actually still have it. It's this little card holder and like a coin purse thingy. I never used it for coins. I used it for cards, so I used to keep all my cards here. And also there is a pocket at the back right here. The color is beautiful. It's this red with the Louis Vuitton monogram in patent. This material was so popular back in the day. I think I bought it in 2009 maybe, and I used it every single day until I got my other card holder 3, 4, 5 years later. I'm not even sure now, but I wore it so much. So there is some wear all around this card holder, but it is still in good condition, knowing that it's 10 years old. I bought it for, I think it was 300 Swiss francs, which is the same in dollars. So the prices, again, they were different. Everything was cheaper, a little bit cheaper. So that was nice. So yeah, I really love this thing. I still love it so much, but I never reach for it as much because I have other card holders to use. But still, I don't think I'll ever sell it because I love it so much. I love this color, and I love that it's patent and that it's in red. It's really beautiful, and I think it's such a classic piece. So yeah. Item number 3 was my ballerinas collection from Louis Vuitton and Dior. Ballerinas were such a big trend back then, and I think they're not anymore since we have so many new designs out there, but ballerinas were my obsession and I wore them so much. I had a couple of pairs from Louis Vuitton. I'll try to insert the pictures, and I wore them to death. And also there was a pair from Dior that I also really loved. They were in white patent leather. Anyway, I loved all of my ballerinas so much, so I think if I were to go back and repurchase my first luxury purchases, I think ballerinas will definitely be on my list. And I know they're pricey, but the quality was amazing, it was outstanding, and I wore them basically every day. So that's my number 3. Number 4, like the next item that I bought back in the day was a Fendi tote bag, and I loved it so much, but I had a couple of problems with it, but I still loved the bag a lot. I paid a lot of money for it. It was more expensive than the Louis Vuitton bag, so I think if I were to go back, I wouldn't buy that Fendi bag. The thing I would buy is probably a brooch from Chanel. Chanel brooches are made of such a great quality. I wore my brooch today specifically for this video just to give you an example of what I mean. So the total worth of my outfit today is something like $50. This blazer thingy, it was from Bershka, and I think it was something like $25, and then this t-shirt is from H&M. This one was a little bit more expensive, it was $30, but still the outfit is not that expensive and it looks pretty simple, but once I put a brooch on it, it looks so much different now, and it looks more elevated and more expensive. So this is what I mean. I would definitely invest in a good quality brooch. I know there are so many different brands that make this kind of brooches, but I find Chanel to be the best at them. Their design, the quality, the look is just fantastic. It is amazing, and this would definitely be one of my first purchases if I were to start my collection over again. The last item on my list is a Chanel bag. I know it is very extreme to go from a Louis Vuitton Speedy to a Chanel bag when just starting your collection, but back in the day the quality of the Chanel bags was so much better than it is now, and the prices were like double cheaper than they are now. And I actually got a Chanel bag back in the day. This is my very first Chanel bag. My dad gave it to me as a present. We actually went together to buy it. I was still in high school, and he was like, let's get you a good school bag. So I was like, a Chanel school bag? And I was like, yeah, why not? So we went to Chanel, and of course to carry books and everything, I wouldn't buy a classic flap, and maybe this is a regret of mine, but at the same time I got my hands on this beautiful bag. I have no idea what the name is. It's not there anymore. They don't produce this kind of bags in Chanel anymore, but this is how it looks. It has the silver hardware, and I think it is such a beautiful bag. It is a single flap, and it looks like this inside. It is very spacious. It's perfect for work, school, whatever you do. I think for an everyday use it's a little bit on a bigger end, so maybe for everyday use you should go for a smaller bag, but it also depends on your taste. on your height, but it has the 4 feet down there. It looks like this. It has this sort of vintage leather, and I should say, I'm not sure what the leather is. I think it's lambskin, maybe cowskin, I'm not sure, but the quality is so amazing. I have no scratches or whatsoever on this bag, and I wore it to death. Obviously I have some wear and tear at the bottom right here. I'm not sure if I can fix that. If I can, that would be amazing, but here the leather is just completely went off, but the bag is still in a beautiful condition. The bag is still beautiful. What I also love about old Chanel bags is that the quality of the hardware of the leather was amazing. I wish they had this quality now. And also, can you see the lock? It has this like Chanel kind of stamp thing. You can find similar stamps behind your brooches now. Yeah, I have one right here, for example, and I love this about the old Chanel bags. They should bring it back and put it back in place because it looks so much better. So yeah, I would buy this bag again. This bag was, I think it was $2,000. It was an expensive bag back then, but today you can't find a Chanel bag for $2,000. I think the only thing you'll be able to buy is a wallet on a chain. I'm not even sure, but it's crazy how prices increased recently. So I think today this bag would be like $3,500, $4,000, maybe even more. Who knows? So these were my 5 luxury items. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also check out Lay's channel. I will link it down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.